Welcome to this video about the regular ER verbs in French. In French, these verbs are called les verbes du premier groupe or les verbes en ER. The verbs in ER make up 90% of all verbs in French, which means over 10,000 verbs. And this number keeps growing as every time a new verb is formed, it will end in ER. Like, for example, chatter, for chatting in a chat room. The only verb in ER which is not conjugated this way is the verb aller. Now we're going to have a look at the endings, which you add to the root of the verb. For the first person singular, the ending is E. For the second, ES. The third, E again. Then the first person plural, ONS. Then EZ. And for the third person plural, ENT. And now we are going to have a look at an example, which is aimer, which means to love. And the black bold part is the root, which is different for every word, and in this case is M. And the red part is the ending, which is the endings we just saw before. And the ending changes according to the person. So you can repeat after me. J'aime. Tu aimes. Il aime. Elle aime. Nous aimons. Vous aimez. Ils aiment. Elles aiment. And as you might have realized, the singular forms and the third person plural are pronounced the same way, so M. So when you're writing, you have to look out that you're writing the correct one. Now we're going to do a round of exercises where you can fill in the gap, and if you don't know the verb, it will come up on your screen at some point. Je en France, which when it is filled out means I am living in France. To live is habiter. J'habite en France. Tu, ton stylo. Looking for something is chercher quelque chose. Tu cherches ton stylo. Il, de la musique. To listen is écouter. Il écoute de la musique. Elle, du violon. To play is jouer. Elle joue du violon. Nous, un portrait. To draw is dessiner. Nous dessinons un portrait. Vous, dans un bureau. To work is travailler. Vous travaillez dans un bureau. Il, le français à l'école. To study is étudier. Ils étudient le français à l'école. Elle, à la maison. To go home is rentrer à la maison. Elle rentre à la maison. So basically you take the root of the verb and then you add E, ES, E, ONS, EZ or ENT depending on the person you need. And unfortunately, as always in French, there are a few exceptions to these rules, where for certain persons the rule changes due to phonetics, and I will put up a video about that soon. But the only really irregular verb which ends in ER is aller. I hope this video could help you, and if it did, you can either comment, subscribe or like this video. Bye! À bientôt!